All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, the great millstone, who teach and rule well. And peace, love, and salutations to the Akim that's out there laboring, that's out the hope for elect, that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And pretty much I want to chime on this individual here, this demon, Cash Jordan. He's pretty much a podcaster, a real estate broker in New York City. And pretty much he has a channel. His page pretty much has over 1.3 million followers. And of lately, he's been focusing on the migrant situation. You know, and his motto is, "I watch the news so you don't have to." You know, that's pretty much his slogan. And you know, he gets into all sorts of things concerning the migrant situation. And he's pretty much watching these videos and doing the commentary on the news, and pretty much watching with glee, you know. And I'm gonna show you pretty much a clip for pretty much what he does. You see, and also he does video vlogs. He does real estate pretty much rentals in New York City that are available, and pretty much talks about situations that's going on within the New York City area. Okay, this individual is based out of New York City, and he's a complete demon. And this is pretty much the sentiment of all of these pretty much these MAGA enthusiasts, that pretty much are rooting for the downfall of the tribes, so to speak. Okay, mass deportation that's going on. Pretty much he's a champion for that. And pretty much we're going to get into this video pretty much of what he's pretty much about. So pretty much without any further ado, let's play a little bit of this clip. I have a few clips I want to show. And we're seeing pretty much the sentiment of your adversary. Okay? And pretty much, man, nobody is checking for you jakes, man. Okay? But without
ICE is already working on filling up Trump's mega prison.
Chopper 6 captured officials walking people inside of the detention center in the Everglades. Many call Alligator Alcatraz. These are just some of the first images we're seeing of activity in newly built facility.
This comes as officials say the first group of immigrants arrived this morning, and they were not the only ones who showed up to the controversial site today.
You see how this complete demon, pretty much gets his little commentary, pretty much mocking and he'll have pretty much something to say at every turn of what they're reporting. So what's going on here is pretty much this the mega prison, the Alligator Alcatraz, what it's called, down in Florida, pretty much where Trump and his administration pretty much went down there to inspect the facility, so to speak, this past week. And now that we're speaking, now that pretty much now they are actually filling up that facility with the migrants, pretty much with the assistance of ICE and whatever local authorities that are in play. And pretty much he does this on a regular. This is what he pretty much does on his page for the most part. Gives his little commentary, and he's obsessed with the deportation of migrants. Okay, but you listen to the pride and the glee and the just the way that Esau Edom is a sociopath, man. Okay, you see, and pretty much we're seeing this on display, and it doesn't matter if you are of the top elites that are pretty much pulling the strings, or whether you are just a lunchbox Joe, so to speak. The bottom of society or middle of the road society. You pretty much a red-blooded American, blue-blooded American, okay? You would all do the same thing if you had the power to do so, man. You pretty much, your minds are alike, and the Most High, Yahweh, Yahushua made you that way, okay? All right? He said that you are a manner of people, okay? So you carry certain characteristics which is embedded into your DNA, okay? And you act accordingly to the will of the Most High, okay? First and foremost, you people are, speaking about you Edomites, you are the whipping stick for the tribes, so to speak. Okay, because the Lord has his indignation upon his people, pretty much speaking about chiefly the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and our people scattered throughout the four corners of the earth that live amongst the heathens that may, that pretty much look like the other heathens though, but go back to the stock of Jacob. Okay, so this is pretty much not a color thing. All right, okay, so the Lord's people pretty much are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, but the main focus is here in Babylon, where the bulk of the tribes are. Okay, you see, and we're gonna play a little bit more of this though, and we're gonna get to the comment board. Okay, so we see how these minds are pretty much think alike. So pretty much without any further ado, let's continue.
New video from just an hour ago from Chopper 6 for the first time shows detainees at the facility state Republican leaders are calling Alligator Alcatraz.
Look at all these buses.
Florida's Division of Emergency Management used social media to say the first group has arrived.
And so, unfortunately, that's not the law, right?
Shortly
Who are these
after,
people?
Democratic lawmakers showed up, demanding they be let inside the controversial
course.
facility.
And it's so essential when you have hundreds of millions of public dollars being spent on a political stunt that we have the ability to
stunt?
see for our own eyes what is happening.
They allege the building of the
You can see
facility
right
has been
here.
done without any transparency, with contracts being handed out to political
Oh, my
allies of the
goodness.
governor.
So far, it's an assortment of Republican campaign donors who got these multi-million-dollar contracts to create what is basically
Oh, my
a
goodness.
makeshift immigrant detainment camp in the middle of the Everglades swamp.
It's a great
The new
place for
signs
it.
are up. A handful of protesters
says
still
Alligator
here.
Alcatraz.
And federal court documents filed today reveal new information.
I thought this was just a nickname, but apparently this is the real thing. However, it can hold around 5,000 people, and if ICE is deporting 3,000 a day within 2 days, it's going to be packed.
Sure, you're aware the statute says that we are able to have access to any facility.
They want to get in here so
To
bad.
verify firsthand.
Schedule a time next week. No,
Pretty much, you see Judite, and this is really the deportations are really coming in mass numbers amongst the Northern Kingdom, you Latinos, and pretty much, Jake is pretty much coming in and trying to make sense of this whole thing of how they're pretty much grabbing people from work sites and churches and schools, and deporting these people, and pretty much, this devil right here, he pretty much is mocking it, so to speak. You see, okay, and pretty much there's no pity upon you people, man. All right, this is what you have to understand who your adversary ultimately is, man. Okay, you see. All right, let's play a little bit more and then we'll hit the comment board.
So, request denied.
My colleagues on both sides of the aisle, they would want us to be here.
Look at these buses.
Buses bringing detainees came and went. The first group arriving overnight, that photo posted on state social media.
Look at all those
Importing
trailers.
water, exporting waste, safety, security. That the leaks from pre-opening are sealed against the coming weather, that legal services are available, as the state promises. This immigration attorney stopped to learn and was turned
Immigration
away.
attorney.
They kindly told me that there had been none of that set up yet for visitation hours for attorneys. No.
I bet if you're an attorney, this is a great place to get extra clients. But the reason the humanitarians want to get inside this place is so that they can take pictures and say it's the worst thing ever.
We were wondering earlier why even more fencing was being brought in, and now
Smart.
we see they are fencing
So
off
these protesters
the
don't
entire
break
front.
in.
They are putting a big gate off.
So you see the sentiment of how these devils operate, man, in their mind, how they works, man, and pretty much the pointing, the blame game goes upon you tribes, man, because you are pretty much essentially in their mind, okay, the reason of everything that's gone wrong in this country, man. You see? But let's hit the comment board, all right, and we'll see how like minds pretty much egg this whole thing on. Okay, so another comment here says they don't like their country, then fight to change it. Don't bring your problems here. You see? Okay, the other one says know their rights. What rights? Try this crap in Iran. Right? Another one says Alligator Alcatraz residents are living large compared to many in our of our homeless vets. They are trained to say, I am afraid to go back to my country because I am being persecuted. Okay, so now pretty much, man, what this damn devil does is that he goes to these Latin countries, okay, all right, in Central and South America, pretty much sets up a puppet government, okay, all right. Now the resources that the country would produce does not benefit the people, okay. It pretty much is hijacked by corporate interests, okay, and they reap the benefits of these resources that the country wouldn't otherwise would benefit off of, and be able to, you know, have a system set in place to where it benefits the people of the country, man. Okay, so now what happens is that, you know, they get this country into debt. Okay, so now when the debt cannot be paid, okay, all right, they send pretty much the economic hitmen to come in and pretty much take over the government, so to speak. Okay, they put in a puppet government. They take out anybody that's for the people and put it in working for their interests, the corporates. Okay, and pretty much are reaping the benefits of the so-called funds, okay, that you would reciprocate from import-export business, okay, and now the people are pretty much down and out in their country, and pretty much, you know, you have these set up oppositions and causing turmoil in the country, and this is the reason why these people flee to Babylon, man. Okay, the scriptures speak about, man, that Ephraim, okay, chief tribe, okay, really speaking about the whole northern kingdom, shall bring their children to the murderer, man. And that's basically what they have done. Okay, you see, all right, these people are pretty much are not going to be, shipped back to their country, man. Okay, because they did all this work for nothing. You know, they have an ultimate plan for these people, man. Okay, these people are going to be pretty much match chipped, okay, before it's all said and done at the end of the day, man. So that MOTB is coming to a detention center near you, okay. But you see the sentiment here, okay. Now, you know, this demon right here, he sits there and in his place of residence, sipping on his Cafe Bustelo, so to speak, you know, and watching this is like this is a entertainment for him. You see. But let's dig deeper into this individual, okay? All right? Because meanwhile, they're pointing fingers, though. And the deportation in the migrants that are here are not the major problem in this country, man. Okay? It's not going to solve the debt issue, okay? It's not going to solve the soaring rents, okay? All right? Especially in New York City, man. Okay? Where you could be probably potentially renting a whole apartment, pretty much the size of your living room for thousands of dollars, man. Okay, you see. But let's dive deeper into this individual, okay? And let's get a few things here now that he put up on his playlist. Let's see. And this is the whole thing with now. He's saying NYC is collapsing.
And the most shocking thing is that rents, even though they're sky high right now, don't tell the whole story, as literally everything in this town is waiting to bankrupt someone the moment they leave their apartment. And that's why nobody here can ever say they feel like they've made it.
New York City is the most expensive city in the world. Rents are sky high. There are record numbers of violations for private landlords this year. For 6 years, we've gone into countless homes. Buying a cut of meat will cut a bigger chunk out of your wallet. Prices are now up 10%, with the USDA expecting prices to rise another 20% this year.
Higher prices pretty much across the board, so that does make it more difficult to set extra money aside or make any long-term plans.
We're living in two separate economies. The American dream that was pitched to the Gen Xers and the Boomers is no longer present.
A lot of people, particularly the working class and the part of the middle class, don't think their children will be as well off as they will. That's a problem.
Over the course of the year, they might make enough money to pay for basic living expenses and cover their bills. But if
and the situation that's going on here nationwide, okay, has nothing to do with the migrants. You see? So you see the hypocrisy of these devils, man. How they want to sit here and at the end of the day want to point the finger at you tribes, man, for rising costs in food and rent, okay? Incompetent landlords are pretty much failing to maintain these apartments for a decent living. And these people are pretty much living like animals themselves, man. Okay? But ultimately, you know, they want to have the blame game and thinking that this is going to solve all their problems, man. You see? All right, so Salakia for being long-winded. Let's get a scripture real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 5. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Okay? All right, and Jerusalem is a people before a place. Chiefly speaking about the northern and southern kingdom, you Negro Latinos and Native Americans, man. Who's going to have pity upon you, man? Okay? All right? Who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? Okay? And nobody's checking for your concerns, man. Okay? The other nations don't give it a damn about you people, man. Okay? Because all that's coming out of their mouth is that you're pretty much a bunch of people that just complain, man. Okay? That complain and pretty much reap the benefits of what the government gives you, man. Okay? That's the narrative that has always been painted, man. Okay? You know, you pretty much are not considered hard workers. Okay? You know, hey, the tribes keep this place running, man. You know, and this is something I always have said from the beginning, man, that if all of the tribes called out sick just for one day, this place would collapse overnight, man. Okay? You see? All right? Here it is, man. You got the tribes, man, that pretty much, open up the city, man. Okay? You know, they're doing the pretty much the remedial work that these other people, other nations are feel not to do, man. Okay? When you want to talk about your goods and services, your doormen, your supers, okay? All right? The people that are running different facilities and keeping it running and making sure that the custodial business, okay, landscaping, okay, you see, all of these things are essential to the running of a city, man. Okay, when you want to speak about the tribe of Issachar, okay, pretty much, man, when you concerning that tribe, they're pretty much the best short order cooks on the planet, man. Okay, you see, all right. And they're the ones that run these places, man. And then, now, meanwhile, this devil will go down outside of his home and go to his local organic deli or what have you, and most likely would have somebody of the tribes making him a salad, man. Okay, or making him some type of avocado toast. You see what I'm saying? Okay, but nobody's bemoaning you people, man. Okay, nobody's checking for you. Nobody has no pity upon you, man. Okay, they're thinking that this will be beneficial to all things that are going wrong with the economy, man. And this has nothing to do with the economy, man. Okay, these people are going to find out that they're going to be duped at the end of the day. Okay, but it says, man, right? Who shall have pity upon you, right? For it says, for thou hast forsaken me, saith Yahweh. Thou art gone backward. Therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee and destroy thee. I am weary of repenting. And you tribes are not, your hands are not clean in this whole thing, man. Okay? Because you people are all into all types of wickedness, man. Okay? Your idols, okay? Running around with your false sense of, security in this place, man. That's going to destroy you, man. You see? Okay, here it is, man. 4th of July just took place, and here it is. You got, especially the Northern Kingdom, man. Lighting off fireworks, all the way into the wee hours of the morning, man. Okay, but what the hell are you people celebrating, man? Okay, you people are fully immersed in this place, man. That doesn't give a damn about you, man, and you're gonna soon find out, man. Okay, the pretty much, man. This whole thing that's coming down, that's going down. It's going to be right in your face soon enough, okay? Because meanwhile, while you people are pretty much eating abominable foods and partaking in this holiday, okay, that big beautiful bill was signed into law, okay? So now this thing is going to be ramped up, man, okay? And you're not going to have any type of due process, man, at the end of the day, okay? So the Lord's pretty much just stretching out his hand against you, okay? Because the Lord is weary of repenting of you, man. Okay? And it says, verse 7, and I will fan them with a fan, and in the gates of the land I will bereave them of children. I will destroy my people, since they return not from their ways. Okay? So the Lord is pretty much setting this man up to bring you to your destruction, man. Okay? All right? You see? There's no way that you're going to be able to get out of this whole thing, man. Okay? And a lot of these people that are going through this right now are pretty much what you want to call the 2/3, man. Okay? You see? It says, their widows are increased to me above the sand of the seas. I have brought upon them against the mother of the young men a spoiler at noonday. I have caused him to fall upon it suddenly, and terrors upon the city. And this is what you're seeing now. You're seeing terrors upon the city with this mass deportation, man. Okay, you got mass men that are pretty much kidnapping, man. They're just grabbing up people, man, and not even finding out any of his status, man. Okay, so it has nothing to do with anything that you have any paper pushing through the court system, man. Okay, all right. If you just look the part, man, they're gonna detain you, man. Okay, you see. So from there, let's go to another video. All right, real quick. All right, that's speaking. If I can pull it up real quick, Salakia. We want to get this video here.
So if you haven't heard, there are farms in Texas that have been trying to pursue their operations, but they're not able to because their workforce has disappeared, and this is why.
It's Joe from Georgia, so this is news out of Texas. But folks, these are alarm bells ringing for the entire United States, and our government is not listening. Overnight, multiple farms in the state of Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because they have lost almost 100% of their workforce. Now, we know this is the result of the immigration raids and stricter enforcement, but the ripple effect is going to be felt all the way across this country. Now, you've got crops that are rotting in the fields. You have livestock that is not being attended to at all. And that takes a lot of personnel. And we're talking, so now we're getting every area of food to include meat. And the communities that surround these farms, those businesses and those people who depend on the income from these farms, it's creating disasters for small communities in Texas. Now, this is not stopping at Texas farms. This is going to end up all the way across America, especially in the breadbasket, the middle of the nation, because they have tons of immigrant help. But folks, the alarm bells are ringing. Your food on your plate is being affected. So you got to think about it. It won't be soon until either prices go ridiculously high or you just won't have any food to buy.
So it really shouldn't come as a surprise because there are a lot of workers in America, a lot of laborers that are undocumented. They are immigrants and they have been working here for many, many years doing a lot of jobs that Americans are not willing to do or would not rather do. And now with all of the raids that have been going on, whether you are pro what's been happening or not, the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of people that are being deported that will typically do these jobs, or there's also a lot of people that are afraid to show up to work because of the fear of being deported. So it's a real fear, it's a real concern, and farmers are not going to be the only ones that will be dealing with this. It's going to be across the board in a lot of different industries because a lot of different industries do employ people that are immigrants. Right. And a lot of it.
Right. And this is pretty much going to be the other shoe that drops, so to speak. Okay, concerning this place, man. Okay, economic wise, man. Okay, you see, you're gonna start to see the collapse of this place, man, in real time, man, and being accelerated, man. Okay, because that's like they're speaking of. Okay, because of the mass deportation, there's nobody to work these fields, man. Okay, you see? All right. So Babylon's problem, okay, all right, it is they're causing their own. It's a self-inflicted wound, so to speak, man. Okay, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. Scriptures speak about, man, this man has no understanding, man. Okay, all right. The counsel that he's pretty much taking and accomplishing, okay, all right, is pretty much a self-inflicted wound to himself, man. And this is pretty much all done by design anyway, by the powers that be, okay, to pretty much usher in they're pretty much their MOTB, man. Okay, you see, now you got these red-blooded Americans, man, that think otherwise. But guess what? Okay, the pretty much, man, the joke's gonna be on you. All right, because here it is, while you're rooting for mass deportation, okay, prices are gonna skyrocket. All right, on the shelf soon. Okay, and pretty much there's gonna be a lack of food, man. Okay, especially when you want to speak about produce and meats. All right, you see, fruits, forget about it, man. Okay, all right. So from there, let's go to Lamentations real quick. Okay, Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, all right, you Israelites, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help. And our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. And here it is, man. Our tribes are pretty much are designed and set up to heavily rely on the government, man. You're relying on the adversary to control your destiny, man. Okay, when your own destiny needs to be in the Lord, man, in spirit and in truth. You see, but you are watching for a nation that could not save you, man. Okay, all right. The help is vain. Okay, any help and services is vain. Okay, you see, verse 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets, and we're seeing a portion of that now, man. Okay, they said that workers that pretty much have not been rounded up, they're scared to even go to their place of employment, man. Okay, because of the raids that are coming onto these facilities, man. Okay, they hunt our steps that we cannot go on our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. This is another facet of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, Jacob's trouble has already been happening. Okay, but now we're going to see with this big beautiful bill that's been signed into law. Okay, you're going to start to see it accelerated. Okay, all right, pretty much the burden is going to be on you tribes, man. And I'm going to speak about that pretty much at a later note concerning that situation. But at the end of the day, okay, the persecution against you so-called people, you so-called Christians, has already been taking place, man. Okay, and this has been going on worldwide, man. Okay, all right, throughout the world, man. Persecution, man. Okay, all right, and war has always been the covering to achieve the destruction of you people, man. Okay, worldwide. Okay, the destruction of ancient relics have been destroyed. Okay, all right, religious places of worship have been destroyed. Okay, all right, and this is something that they're now speaking about in the mainstream media, man. Okay, so the persecution has always been happening, man, but you're gonna start to see it at an accelerated rate, man. Okay, you see, it says, verse 19, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains, and they laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of Yahweh, was taken in their pits, of whom he said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. You see, and now we've been living amongst the heathen, man. Okay, all right. The Lord gave us the bill of divorce, man. Okay, and scattered us throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, and it's been watching. Okay, and pretty much it's gonna have to go through this whole thing to all his will has been accomplished, man. Okay? All right? Then will he pretty much send his son, okay, to be the redeemer for the remnant. Okay? But all things need to come to pass, man. And we're starting to see that, man. And we're starting to see the beginnings of those birth pains coming, man. Okay? You see? Right? Verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Okay? The daughter of Edom, what you want to call here now in Babylon, man. Okay? All right? Rejoice and be glad. You know, it's this devil, Cash Jordan, pretty much is sitting up there, with his Cafe Pustello, and sips on his coffee while he, gives his audience pretty much the news. And this news is always surrounded around migrants, man. His whole page is pretty much dedicated to that. Okay? But when you go into other topics, though, he speaks about the plight of the city, complaining about the prices skyrocketing. It's going to skyrocket even more. Now, when he did that particular video, this was really before all of this whole mass deportation thing, man. Okay, I believe that video was pretty much done within the last month, But this is pretty much what has been the sentiment, man. And the migrant issue is not their problem, man. Okay, so that's not the problem of what you people are going to face, man. But rejoice and be glad, man. Right? O daughter Edom that dwelleth in the land of Uz, the cup also shall be passed through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. And that's what's happening, man. Okay, you're going to drink of that cup. You're going to be drunken, and all the nations, the world is going to see your nakedness, man. And we're starting to see that now. Okay, you're being found out, man. Okay, all right. The nations are not pleased on how you are operating, man. Okay, you're offending everybody, man. Okay, and you're ashamed of nothing. You see? Okay, all right. Jake, pretty much the 2/3 are pretty much have the same type of sentiment, but they're on a low level of doing things, man. They're on a low level of being offended, man. Okay, you see? All right. They do things on a grander scale, man. Okay, they do things to amass the whole world, man, into their hands. You see? Okay, but that cup, and what's that cup, man? Of anguish, tribulation, hardship. Okay, all of the curses that were put upon you tribes, man, is gonna fall upon your adversaries now, man. Okay, that's why the Lord said, "Rejoice and be glad," man. Okay, why the getting is good, man. This is a great show for them to see. People being incarcerated in mass numbers, man, just snatched up off the streets, man. Okay, pretty much the ones that been holding this place together, man. All right, and then on top of that, these American workers are not gonna go in the fields and do that kind of work, man. Okay, especially not for the pay. Okay, and even if the pay was there, they cannot even bear to stand that kind of work, man. Okay, all right, under the hot sun. Okay, they're not built for that, man. Okay, you see? All right. You have us that we thrive through adversity, man. That's one of the traits that the Lord has bestowed upon us, man. Okay, you see? All right. But it says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Speaking about you tribes, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover his sins. And we're seeing now where this individual, man, right now, okay, he's losing the information war. Okay, he's losing grip on the narrative. You see, all right. And even when he does lose the grip on the narrative, though, he's gonna go out kicking and screaming, man. Okay, you see, all right. And this is the reason why he put these unrighteous decrees into place, man. Okay. Because even if it doesn't sound right to you, okay, as far as the narrative or the narrative is being lost, he's going to accomplish what he has set out to do anyway, man. Okay, you see? So this is what pretty much is going to be the beginning of the downfall of this man. Okay, and we're seeing it, man. Okay, we're seeing it in real time, man. Okay, this man is pretty much has cut himself off at the knees with his actions, man. Okay, all right. This is Amos chapter 9. Verse 13, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes of him that soweth seed, and the mountains drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. You know, and this pretty much is when the Lord will usher in his standard, all right, the kingdom. Okay, you see, all right, the Lord's going to turn our captivity, and then the late stuff that we have labored for and have not benefited from, we're going to benefit from it. We're going to benefit from the fruit of the land. Okay, our labor is going to pretty much be of a plus. It's going to be of an advantage. Okay, you see, all right, okay. We're pretty much going to be, trading places with this damn man soon, very soon, man. Okay, and it says, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled out of their land, which I have gave them, saith Yahweh thy power, man. Okay, all right. And the days are coming, man, where a plowman is going to overtake the reaper, man. Okay, you see, the scriptures speak about, man, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, man. All right, but pretty much, man, you're going to start to see this whole thing boil over, man. Okay, into epic proportions and epic consequences, man. Okay, so it's going to be a hot summer, man. Okay, concerning the things that are going on right here in Babylon, man. And all things must need to pass, man. Okay, this must need to come to pass, man. Okay, because we have to be able to get to the other side, man. Okay, so those birth pains are coming, man. You know, and pretty much I'm going to end it there. And I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Wakakodash. Shalom.